Thank you very much to Dr. Rob Hicks there. So now I have my nutritionist Hannah Richards, who's going to be making
menopause muffins.
Menopause muffins. Have you ever heard of such a thing? But yes, Hannah has created it. So Hannah, take it away.
Great. Okay, so Chrissy, all I need you to get going with is grating both of those, top and tail them, and then grate them both into that bowl.
Right, my love.
I'm going to use 2 different flours to make these muffins. You can basically make muffins with anything, but you do need a grain. So I'm going to use a brown bread flour, which is gluten-free. And I'm going to use a chickpea flour as well, but you can really use anything you like. So there should be about, if you're using cups, 2 cups of flour, and in grams it probably looks like 260 grams. So I'm just going to use a bit of both. But you also need to use your eye as well, because the mixture doesn't want to be too runny. It needs to be a little bit thick. So then you're going to put 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And then we're going to add some turmeric. Now, turmeric is a really nice anti-inflammatory, and it's really good for all female hormones. And for inflammation as well.
Yes, I was going to ask you why they're called menopause muffins, and now you're giving us the answer.
And the other thing is that some of these flours, so like all your legumes, for example, are full of what we call phytoestrogens, and phytoestrogens mimic the effects of estrogen, and because estrogen declines as we get older, and that's why phytoestrogens are good. So that's what the flour looks like, and some black pepper.
Okay.
Then I'm
frantically grating here. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Grate away. Then I'm going to add, this is goat's cheese. Are you a goat's cheese fan?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
You won't find many things that I don't like, Hannah.
I know, yeah. So I'm just going to chop the goat's cheese down into small bits. Remember, cheese is really full of calcium if it's a really good cheese. So you can use goat's cheese, you could use feta. And again, it's really good for bone health, which again declines through menopause.
Okay.
So all these foods are really medicinal for the change in the hormonal cycle.
Right.
So you can just be a bit circumspect with your cheese. If you like goat's cheese, then throw loads in, and if you don't, keep it a little bit shy. Great. And there's our goat's cheese in there. As I said, you can use feta or cow's cheddar or something like that.
And there's my offering.
Brilliant. Finely grated. That's looking really good, Chrissy.
There you go.
There we go.
Did a good job, didn't I?
You did an excellent job. 10 out of 10. We're going to swap. You can give that a little stir. And then in the vegetable pot, we're going to crack 3 eggs. So 1, you hold them like that. 2, 3. Lovely. Good. And we're going to give them a little stir at the same time. So, Chrissy, as I'm stirring, can you start pouring some milk into here for me?
Sure.
Now, the key is, with the milk, you probably want, again, about 2 cups, which probably looks like 250 mils, or 8 fluid ounces, actually. There we go. But as you start mixing in the flour, you just don't want it to be too liquidy. Now, because the courgette, a little bit more, please. Because the courgette and the carrot give off a lot of water, that's when the effects, the levels can change. Perfect. Okay, great. So I am then going to... You're going to
see the consistency there.
Yeah, that's the consistency there at the moment. There we go. So it is quite juicy. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask you to start pouring in the flour into the vegetables.
Okay.
There we go.
What speed would you like?
Just sort of a moderate speed.
Okay, there you go.
A little bit more than that, Chrissy. Come on, don't go all day.
Okay, someone's flicked you, sorry.
There we go, brilliant. And we're just mixing in, and you can see that the mixture is getting thicker and thicker. Brilliant.
Dump it in. There you go.
Perfect. And so you really want to get a nice paste, because we might need a tiny bit more milk. We can have a little bit more milk there, Chrissy. That's enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, that kind of got me.
And that's
just
what
ruin the
not
recipe.
to do.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Just stick a bit more flour in
So,
it.
no, but this is good because if it does sort of feel, if you feel like it's too liquidy, exactly, you can just throw a little bit more flour in it and that's absolutely fine. So there we go.
I did it on purpose, just so you can say that.
I know. So, Chrissy, can you just pull out the muffin tray for me? And I'm going to start putting these into the muffin tray. Da-da-da. So all you do is just start putting them in here like this. Now, you should definitely grease your tray before. I have pre-greased this tray. Or did you do that, Chrissy, before we...
Might have done.
Was that one of your
jobs? Might have been
jobs?
our little helpers, our little elves.
Little elves? Yeah. So just be, you can always go back to the tray and tidy it up. But that's basically what it looks like. Nice thick mixture like that. And then you can put it in the oven for probably about 200 for about 20 minutes. But the key is with everything is that it wants to look like it's golden on top. Thank you. There we go. Perfect. And
should we put those into the oven?
Put them into the oven for me, Chrissy.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And after about 20 minutes, your muffins should look like this.
Amazing. That way. They look lovely and we need to try them.
We probably do, yeah. It would be rude not to. So these...
Don't worry about the table, we'll clean that afterwards.
So this is... exactly. This is like a little... let me just give it a score around.
So menopause muffins in the shape of a heart.
Menopause muffins in the shape of a heart. I'm going to struggle getting these guys out. There we go.
Thank you very much.
And I'll just grab one.
It's still warm.
It's still warm because they've just come out of the oven.
Oh, that is divine.
Pop mine out.
Guys, what can I say? Delicious.
Good, aren't they? Even if I do say myself.
This must go in your new cookbook.
It must. It
I
must.
can't wait for your book, Hannah.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
This is delicious, guys. Honestly, you have to try these at home. Not just for menopausal women, but for everybody, I would say.
Yeah, you could share them with your husband or your family. Yes. You could even put a little parmesan on top.
Yes.
Once they're nice and warm, so.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
Pleasure. Glad you like them.
See you again next time.
Absolutely.
Okay, everybody, so now...